All right, we are back up. Sorry, guys, I don't know what happened. I went totally down, took me down, down, down. But we are back up again. So let's continue with what I was saying about evictions. So get back up here. Okay. All right. So, okay. So we're back up on talking about evictions. So I don't know if the YouTube shut me down or what, but my whole StreamYard went. So I'm thinking it's just StreamYard. But we're talking about evictions, and I was showing you guys some what people are saying when evicted. Let me try this.
To get it reinstated. I said, so there's nothing else we got to do. He said, that's fine. Y'all are fine. He said, on the 5th of August, just come back and pay your bankruptcy fee and you'll be okay.
Okay, so this
Well,
guy,
y'all probably would have been okay if I didn't.
so this guy right here with this this eviction that we're talking about is he filed a bankruptcy, and there's a couple of them that filed bankruptcies as well. And people think once I file a bankruptcy, I am safe, but there are steps to that as well, folks. So, first step to an eviction, number one, and you cannot forget this, is the notice from the um, property management company stating that, hey, you owe us money. Second thing is a processor will come out and put a stamp on your door saying that they are taking you to court for the arrears and money or whatever the violation may be. Do not ignore this. You have to answer that uh, court order. You have to answer it. I cannot say it enough. And this is the reason why. If you do not answer it, depending on the state you're in. Now in Georgia, they can get what is called a immediate writ, which means they can take possession of that place as soon as they get that paperwork in their hand and get it to the processor. They can have you out in 3 days. Other places, it may be 10 days, 7 or 10 days that writ, once the judge writes a writ, okay? Immediately, you're gone, okay? They write that writ and they're coming for you. Now, with this, some states will give you notice. Some management companies may send you a notice, and some will not because you didn't answer the court order. You have to answer the court order, guys. You have to. Now, most states try to send you some notice that says that we'll take possession within X amount of days. Okay. Some don't. So, like I said before, I'm not giving you attorney um, legal advice. I'm giving you what I know from being a property manager for over 20 years. You need to look up in your state your rights. But this is basic rights and basic things you need to know about an eviction. Now, if you go to court and answer it, they have to give you a court date, which now gives you more time to help you get yourself together, whether get your money together or find a place. Okay. It gives you a little bit more time to do that. So answer it because then they have to give you a court date. Now, that court date may be a week, 2 weeks, maybe even longer out, depending on how backed up that court is. So that's giving you time. Now, once you go to court, have all your documents in order, all your rent receipts, um, all of anytime you've talked to the management company, anytime they've contacted you, any paperwork they've sent you, have all your documents in order. Know your case if you are not represented by an attorney. have your information. I advise people, especially if it's something more than rent, especially if it's something that they're saying maybe damage to the house or you're violating the HOA or something like that. Um, always seek an attorney's advice. But if you are going on your own, have your documentation. The judge don't want to hear what you said, what you did, what they said. They want documentation. They want paperwork. They want a paper trail. They want to see how many times you contacted them. Did you talk to them? Uh, if you paid your rent, they want all that documentation. Now, in the final end of it all, when the judge says, okay, I see all of that, but these people want possession of their place. You have to move. Okay. The judge might even say, well, look, you and the landlord work something out. Come back to me and tell me what it is. Okay. They might let you step out and you work with an arbitrary, what they call an arbitrary person and work it out and y'all figure out who's going to do what. Okay. Then you go home because the landlord said, well, I'll let you stay into the first, or you pay me X amount, and then I'll let you stay. So you scrape up $1,600, $2,000, or whatever to give this landlord. And then 7 days later, you got an eviction knocking on your door. What did you do wrong? What you did wrong was once it went to court, it has to be a court order. The landlord can't just tell you. The landlord had to go back and tell the judge something, and then the judge writes up the order. So you need to know what the judge wrote up before you do anything with this landlord. Now, if a judge writes up, okay, pay $1,600, and then you can say the eviction is closed, and it's in writing, that's fine. But if you don't see that in writing from a judge, you cannot accept the landlord's word because you have to remember you already owe them money. So they're going to take any money you get. But if they think you're a problem tenant, they're going to take the money they can get from you and then they're going to put you out because they know that once you move, they're not going to get that money. They already know they're not going to get that money. They know they're not. So what they do is quite simple. They say, yeah, pay me $1,600. If that's what you got, I'll take that. And yeah, I'll give you time to come up with the rest. And then they go to the judge. They say, hey, he still owe me money. I want him out. You didn't stay. You didn't try to figure out what the judge said. You didn't get any of the paperwork from the court. You didn't get none of the transcript, nothing. So you just go home thinking, oh, everything is fine. And what happens? 7 days, 10 days later, a guy is knocking at your door, ready to move all your stuff out. If you know you are being evicted, what should you do?
It come before the 5th, but it's not real.
The 5th of August, it ain't got here yet.
That's what I'm saying. If I had come on the 5th after it had been reinstated, you probably been okay, but it ain't been reinstated.
He's in another house. Nice house. And this is the one that said that he was having the chapter 13. Now let's talk about that. I forgot. Let's go ahead and talk about chapter 13 right quick. Talk about chapter 13 right quick. Now, we're going to talk about chapter 13. But chapter 13 is a absolutely great way.
We'll get these other rooms.
Great
we'll
way
back bedroom for the very last.
a great way to stop an eviction. Okay. Great way to stop an eviction. Great way to stop anything from being taken from you. Chapter 13 or chapter 7. Like I said, I'm not giving you legal advice. Please seek an attorney. Hey, Janet. Hey, beautiful. How are you? Been so long since I've seen you. I'll have to tell Rafford you joined in. Okay, so with a chapter 13 and a chapter 7 are two different things. A 13 is telling the people, hey, I want to pay back what I owe you, but I just need time and I need to do it in installments, and that's done through an attorney. A chapter 7 is when you say, hey, look, I can't pay none of you guys back. I need all this stuff uh dismissed. I need this forgiven. I need this one forgiven. I need this one forgiven. I need all the interest taken off this car, all the interest taken off this or that. These credit cards, I need them gone. That's more of less what a chapter 7 is. But like I said, get legal advice on both. But when it comes to an eviction and you have a chapter and you file your chapter, depending on the state that you are in, you also have to file what is called a stay. Okay, which means that you're saying, okay, I have a chapter, but I want to stay here in this place. I don't want to be evicted. I want to stay. The judge can or cannot grant it. Now, as you're going through the chapter 13, they cannot evict you if it's active and the apartment or wherever you are is listed on that chapter. It has to be listed on that chapter, okay? But once that chapter is gone through and the judge has made a judgment, the judge can make a judgment if you are to stay in that property or not. Okay, that is really up to a judge. But you need to have all your ducks in order, telling the judge why you should stay in this place. But remember, just because you do the chapter, you have to make sure your attorney files what is called a stay. Okay. Now, if you've had more than one chapter 13 or more than one chapter 7, you really need to pay attention to what the judge is going to say because they're more lenient on allowing you to stay. They're more lenient on allowing things to kind of go with your first chapter. But after you've had a couple of them, they're like, okay, now you're kind of pulling at the system. We'll see. Because doing a chapter can take some time. So you may be in that place, that residence for a few months or more um, before they can evict you. And so you have to understand that the owner is losing money. And a lot of times we think owners are rich. They own all this property and stuff. They don't need my money. But most of the time, these owners have mortgages. And when you have tenants that are not paying, they're falling behind on these mortgages as well. So keep that in mind that it's a lose-lose for everybody when people cannot pay their rent. We understand things happen, um, and we lose jobs. People get sick, people pass away, and this is why we need to prepare ourselves for these type of life-changing events. I believe in everybody having insurance for their loved ones if something happened. You're able to bury your loved ones. You're able to carry on. If that loved one was a main supporter in your family, you need to be able to sustain yourself if something happens to that loved one. So I'm a big component of life insurance. If you don't have it, get you basic life insurance that will cover those things, guys, because things happen and we never know when we're going to leave this earth. We just don't know. So make sure you have things in place. My uncle used to always tell me that you should at least have 3 months of of your salary saved. So if something happens, you have 3 months to get yourself together. So there are little things that we sometimes don't have in place that we need to have in place. So when life hits us in the face, we can handle it. Okay. Evictions are real. Evictions happen every day, and anything can happen. A lot of us are one paycheck away from bankruptcy. Okay. So we need to know what to do when these things hit our door. And telling the eviction guy, the processor, when he gets there that, hey, I didn't know I was being evicted. I didn't know they did this to me. The house is falling apart. This is not okay. The processor don't care. Once he gets there, once that process is there, the eviction is done. When he gets on that, when he steps foot on that property, you are no longer a tenant. Okay. From that point, you are trespassing. Remember that you are no longer a tenant. Now, if you feel you have been um, evicted illegally, you have all kind of rights to cover you. Okay, you have all kind of rights, and you need to seek an attorney because you have lawsuits. And a lot of times, that's why they go through the process and they make sure they go through that process correctly because they don't want to be sued. So if you feel that they're putting you out of league, but you can't go with what she said, he said, you've got to have documentation. And most of the time, people do not have documentation. That is a problem, guys. Find a folder. Okay. I don't care how messy you are, how junky you are, how unorganized you are, guys. Find a folder or a box to put all of your important and private papers in. Okay. Folder, box, whatever. Put them in there so you can find them when things are going awry. Receipts, all those kind of things. Put them away. Because when you go to court, you got to have proof. They don't want to hear nothing else. You got to say they want proof. Okay. If you don't believe me, watch Judge Judy. She'll tell you all the time, I hear you, but I need proof. Okay. You're in court. I need proof. I need paperwork. So make sure that you're taking paperwork with you to show whatever it is that you're trying to prove. Okay. So we've talked about the fact that you have to answer because if you don't answer, they're going to get a quick writ of possession and put you out within 3 to 7 days, depending on when the processor can get his crew out and get your stuff out. If you don't answer. Now, if you answer the court and you have to answer, then they have to give you a court date. They can't do anything to your stuff before the court date, which is going to give you more time to get yourself together to be able to either move or come up with the money or whatever. Once you get a court date and the judge decides, if he decides for you to move, they normally give you 7 to 10 more days and it will be stated in the paperwork before you have to move. So that gives you another week or so to get yourself together. But guys, too many times people stay in the house till the man is knocking on the door. I don't understand that. I understand that you might be in a financial situation. But if nothing else, pack up your important things. Pack up your clothes, your children's clothes, put them in your car. Go get you a little small storage. You may not be able to move all your furniture, but the important things, your pictures, your documents, your clothes, you can put those in a small storage that you can move with your car or a friend's car so your stuff won't be thrown out in the streets. Because once that stuff is on the street, most states it's 24 to 48 hours you have to get that stuff. And then after that, the landlord can call the dump and throw it all away. Now, you have to also understand that people are watching, and there are people who make a living of going around collecting people's stuff that has been thrown out. Because once you're gone and nobody's watching the stuff, it's free fall. It's like trash on the street. So people come and take your stuff and then they sell it on Facebook. They put it in flea markets. They do all kind of stuff. And you've lost. And when they come in and pack your stuff, guys, they throw it in garbage bags. If you got food, they throw the food in the garbage can bags, clothes, papers. They don't sort through anything. They don't try to do that. They are evicting you. So they could ruin your important papers. They could ruin some of your nice clothes. They could break all your dishes. Anything that's valuable to you and you know you're going through an eviction, box it up and get it out. Okay? Box it up and get it out before that happens. Remember, if you're going through a chapter, make sure they get a stay. They file for a stay for you to stay in the property. Make sure that once you went to court, you have a copy of whatever that judgment is. You have a copy and you read it and you understand it. Okay? Guys, just don't ignore things and think that, oh, magically delicious is going to go away, because it's not. I've seen too many people put out on the street because they just ignored a notice. Do not ignore the notices and know your rights as a tenant, what you can and cannot do. But I'm telling you, one thing you cannot do is ignore the notices that is put on your door. Now, let's say you are in a house or an apartment and there's mold, the ceiling's falling in, or different things. You cannot stop paying your rent. That's the biggest mistake most people make. You cannot let people tell you, well, I wouldn't pay the rent. I ain't going to pay the rent. Well, you ain't got to pay the rent. You ain't got to. Okay. I'll tell you how this goes in most states. Most states, if you have the burden of proof on you to whatever you're saying that the landlord is neglecting to do, rather it's he's not, the window's been busted for 2 months, roof falling in, mold. Here's the problem that you're going to face. One, if you have not paid your rent, the landlord can say, well, they haven't paid rent. I've been trying to contact them. I've been trying to get in, but they will not let me in. And they owe me rent. Two, you've got to show that you've been trying to get the landlord to fix whatever is gone wrong in that place for ever how long you say. So if you don't have documentation that you've had 12 text messages to the landlord saying, hey, this is happening. You haven't sent any letters saying this is happening. If you don't have any documentation stating that you have been trying to get the landlord to fix something, then you don't have any proof. Okay? You can take a picture and say, see this? But then the landlord is going to come back and say, I didn't know it was like that because they wouldn't let me in. And because you didn't pay rent, the judge is more likely going to believe the landlord than you. Or the landlord can say, well, hey, they've been a problem. They won't let me in. I've got X amount of complaints on their property, And the judge is going to believe the landlord. You have to pay your rent. If you do not pay that rent, that's going to be the first thing the judge is going to say, well, why didn't you pay the rent? Well, he wouldn't fix nothing. Okay, well, what is it he wouldn't fix? Now you got to prove that you were trying to get him to fix this. 9 times 10, you won't. And then the landlord could also come back and say, Judge, I could, but he's 5 months behind in rent. I don't have the funds. So you have to understand that law and the way you feel the emotions are 2 different things. And a lot of times people get confused about what they feel should happen and what really is going to happen by the law standards. Okay? So I'm telling you, do not stop paying your rent because something is wrong in the place. Go seek legal advice. And then what a lot of times the attorney will do in some states is, if you get an attorney, he will say, we're going to do an escrow for the rent. And all the money that you're supposed to pay to the landlord will go into an escrow for the rent that attorney will be overseeing. And then that attorney will be corresponding with the landlord saying, hey, we have your money, but we need this done. We've got your money, but we need this done. What time frames are we looking at to get this stuff done? Now, when that happens, okay, that's another ball game. But what you cannot do is just stop paying your rent and complaining and think you're going to be on the upper end of the stick. You are not. Okay. Now, places like New York, and things, they have really, really different rental laws, and you really need, and they really, in New York and stuff, they really, their laws are more toward the tenant versus the landlord. Tenants get a lot of leeway in New York than most southern states. Of like in Georgia, they will put you out and put you out quick. It take 30 days and you gone. Okay. It don't take no time in Georgia to get you put out. But New York, it could take up to a year or more. I found over in London, it can take up to 2 years to get people out because of the laws. But you need to know your law, your rights, guys. Do not just think because somebody told you or they heard or whatever, and then you find out the next day all your stuff is on the street and you and your babies ain't got nowhere to go. Okay? Know your rights. Know that there's only, know that there you do have rights. You have that, and even like in Georgia, you even have squatters' rights, which they're changing that. It used to be you could squat in somebody's house for a long time, but Georgia is changing that, guys. So be mindful if you're not on the lease, what that means. Now, some landlords are really smart. Some people think, well, my name is not on the lease, so they can't evict me. If that writ of possession says anyone in that household or anyone on that property, that includes you. And most landlords now add that anyone on that premises has to go. Okay. So if that is included, that means you. You don't have to be on the lease. You are on the property and they will throw your stuff out. And it is legal, guys. Okay. It is legal. So don't think you got an upper hand because you're not. My name ain't on that lease. My name ain't on that judgment. No, it doesn't have to be. It says anyone on that property or in that property has to go and they will put you out and it is legal. Okay. I know some people say, well, I was mail here for 30 days, so they got to legally evict me. Okay. But if they don't know your name, they can just evict anyone from that premises. That's all they got to put. Any persons on that property. Okay, they want out. That includes the dog. Got to go. Right? So be mindful of that, guys. And guys, don't make your situation worse. Don't make your situation worse where you see if I can find this woman. Don't make your situation worse where you got an eviction already and you know you got to go, and then the next thing you know, you're causing more problems because now you're fighting with the processor. Don't do that. Okay, don't do that. Now I'm gonna show y'all something, but I'm not gonna play the whole. I'm not gonna play all of the. I'm not gonna play all of the. I'm not gonna play all of the sound.
Man, go get the dog. That's what it's an eviction, ma'am. It's not moving day. It's eviction.
Okay. I'm trying to make sure my dog doesn't get back out.
Okay.
Now he's
We just tell him to go ahead and get the dog. Let's go.
Baby.
Now, I'm showing y'all this because, and this again, this is from Final Notice with Opnail. His name is so different, Opnail Penn. Please go to his channel. Please subscribe to his channel to learn a little bit more about evictions. Okay, let's get to the house. We need to see all that. Okay. Now, I want y'all to see the condition of this house. And a lot of times, guys, let me tell you something. If you are renting someone's property, and you are not taken care of, they will find a way to evict you because you are ruining their property. Now you have to realize that the owner has to come in with a crew, clean all this up, then remodel because of all of the damages. Maybe the property wasn't the best property in the first place. But my mother used to always say, you can be poor, but you don't have to be nasty. And some of these houses, and some I have seen, have been horrible. And this poor lady, she is pregnant.
Oh God. You need to go get tell Kevin. There's a man that lives out in the other house too.
Yeah, boy house out there.
Okay, so I don't even know that. Okay,
So
so is he here?
Yeah, he's out there.
It's his truck out there.
Okay.
He needs to be
He-
notified
he's
so he can
pregnant.
get his stuff too.
I don't know why they got a Christmas tree up in this house because you can't even see the Christmas tree and stuff.
So you gonna put that
And
dog
they're
up
being
for me?
evicted.
Baby, you gotta go put the Caesar in your
Why you
car.
barking at me? Stop barking at me, Pluto.
Christmas.
And she's saying it's Christmas. So she's getting put out. Now,
Hey, I need my phone.
let me skip. I want y'all. Now, mind y'all, she's pregnant and she is going to move a baby into this house. You can't even see the floor in this house. Can't even see the floor in this house. Now, I've seen houses like this over my 20 years, and I've seen some worse than it. I've seen some worse. So, what I'm saying to you guys is that there are different reasons why you may be getting evicted. It may not be the money. It may not be that you owe them money. But they say, hey, I have to find a reason to get this person out of my property because they're tearing my property up. Okay. When you're not taking care of someone's property, they want you gone. Like I said, my mama always said, you can be poor, but you don't have to be nasty. And a lot of people are terribly, terribly untidy, to say it nicely. Some of y'all Negroes just nasty. Now, and it don't make sense. Sometimes I understand people get depressed. Depression causes things. But when you have children, your children are suffering because of something that you are not getting over, something that you are not handling, something that you're struggling with. Okay. Kind of like when I was going through my life coach training, he said, empty out. He said, first of all, open up your purse. Let me see. So we opened up our purse. So he was like, okay, well, find me a pen in so many seconds. Find this in so many seconds. Find this, find that. And you had to pull it out quick. Then he said, okay. Then he said, empty out your purse. He said, I can tell a lot about a person or about a woman in the way she carries her purse. And I thought, huh? And he was like, a lot of times when people are cluttered in their mind, they're cluttered in the things that they deal with on the physical, their homes, their cars, their purses. things will be cluttered because it's the way their mind is. Their mind is cluttered with stuff. And in order to get that mind right, they have to start organizing their thoughts and the things they want to do, their to-do list, their goals. And at the same time, start organizing their home and things and make it easier. So that's a whole nother ball game with coaching. But we see these people and they're tearing up these people's houses, guys. And I know that sometimes we go through things, but you do not have to be untidy. You do not have to be unclean. Take a Saturday. I told my daughters, what I trained my daughters was when my children were asleep at night, I would put them all to sleep by 8 o'clock. I don't care. You can stare at the ceiling, but by 8 o'clock, especially when we're younger, you in the bed. I don't believe in kids being up all times of night and day and I don't believe, I did never believed in that. So by 8:30 tops, they had their baths, they were in the bed. That gave me time, guys, to clean the house. They gave me time to organize my house at night, lay their clothes out. And I would have their clothes, their shoes, their socks, their book bag packed, everything. So when we wake up in the morning, 5:30, boom, 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 it's done. That made my life easier raising young kids. I couldn't live in this chaos and mess. I could not live in the clutter. But people live in it and they're running people's houses. So a lot of times, even if you catch up the rent, the landlord wants you out because you've destroyed their home, you destroyed the apartment. And like I said, it might have been not the best in the first place, but you done added to it by tearing it up. Holes in the walls, doors off, windows broke. You know how some people do. Roaches everywhere, dogs, cats, feces, dog feces, dogs. It's ridiculous. And now at least the landlord, not only what you owe them, but now they are out of thousands of dollars to get this house prepared for either to sell it or to release the house. So guys, my tips on leasing. I was going to talk about Umar Johnson, but I am tired. I can tell my voice is going because of these allergies. We'll talk about Umar another day. But my tips for the evictions is this. Number one, always answer any court order. Number two, have everything in documentation. Even if a landlord tells you, okay, you can stay an extra 7 days, have them to put it in writing. Okay. All receipts, always keep your receipts. Never pay cash. Never, ever, never, ever, 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 ever pay with cash. Okay, let me say it again. Never, ever, ever, ever pay with cash. Your best bet, not even the money, or go to a bank and get you a certified check that can be easily tracked if you do not have a bank account. Okay. If you are doing online paying your thing, print out your receipt with your confirmation number on it. Normally, you have your bank tracking it, but if you don't have that, print out the receipt, have your folder of all your important paperwork, a box, put it all in there. Two, make sure that every notice, every time you talk to a landlord about a repair or something, that you have that. Even when you call in a repair to your landlord, document the time and date that you called it in. Okay. Always document. So you have this for if something happens and you have to go to court. But when you get that court order, answer it. Go to court. Don't say I had to work or whatever. Somebody needs to appear in court, because if not, they're going to get an immediate writ and you could be out anywhere from 3 to 7 days and your stuff is out on the street and you didn't even know it. Okay. So make sure you go to court. Make sure you answer it when you go to court, whatever the judge say, not what the landlord say. You want in writing what the judge determined, because from that point when it hit the court, it is really left up to the judge. So make sure you have that judgment in writing, in hand, so you know what the judge said that is about to happen. Okay, guys, know your rights, seek an attorney. There are plenty of free legal advice in most states. You can call a legal hotline and find out your rights, what your rights are when it comes to an eviction. Like I said, the site I've been showing y'all was first, let me tell you again. First Notice with Octnail Penn, Penn, and he is a processor that goes through uh, different evictions. Some of them are sad and some of them are funny. Pluto, stop scratching. So, like I said, know your rights, guys. Know what you can and cannot do. Don't just say, okay, I'm going to ignore this eviction notice. Know your rights, and please do not ignore those notices. We've got thousands of people that are evicted every day, and with the way the stock market is going, the way our economy is going, there are going to be a lot of people losing jobs, and you need to know your rights. And another thing you might need to know, and this is just a little hint that maybe I should not tell you guys. If you know you're about to be evicted, your best bet is to go find you another place before that eviction shows up on your credit. Most places is not going to rent to you if an eviction shows up on your credit. Okay? Whoever you rented from in the past that you had a good rental history with, use them, or say you were living with your mama. But I'm just telling you guys a little hint. Okay? Do not wait till you get evicted to find a place. Find a place before that eviction shows up on your credit, because once it do, most places will not rent to you. There are some secondhand places, but majority of places won't. Even some Section 8 will not do it. Okay? So that's just a hint. If you're facing that, okay, you might want to find you something very quick. May not be what you want, but at least it'll be a roof over your head. But once that eviction hits your credit report, most people will not lease to you. Okay. Well, it's been great, guys, sharing this information with you guys. I hope it has been helpful to somebody. If you know someone who's going through an eviction process, let them listen to this, get my little hints, and then, advise them to seek out their rights. But make sure that they answer every notice, and they most definitely go down and answer that court order. Okay, that notice. They need to answer that for sure. But don't just ignore it. You can't, a problem is not going to go away, guys, because we just ignore them. All right. It's been great talking to you guys again. Please share my channel. Please share this information with people. Like I said, I always try to give some little life advice that is going to be helpful to the masses. I'm probably going to come back. Maybe, I don't know, this weekend is kind of rough, but in the next maybe 4 days or so, I'm going to try to do something on Umar Johnson and his craziness and the way he is doing his daughter. It's bad. The way he's doing his daughter is upsetting. We'll talk about that, and we'll also talk about his schools that are not schools. They should be schools, that he spent millions of millions. Well, people have sent him millions of dollars, at least $2 million and counting, to create these schools. We still don't see a school. we see some abandoned buildings, okay? And people are still sending him money. So we'll talk about that and why do people still feel like they still need to send this man money? Maybe because he talks well. I don't know. Um, it's a fad right now, or some kind of, I don't know what you would even call it, where you have so many people sending these YouTubers all this money. And I get it when it's a YouTuber that you like that has content that is important to you or you feel like they've worked on. I get that. But what I don't get is YouTubers sending people money who are begging for money because they don't have a job, they can't pay the rent, can't pay the car payment, but still they don't have a job, don't want a job. Some of them tell you that they're not gonna get a job. Okay, I don't get that. I don't understand all that. But maybe we can get into that conversation, that discussion on that. Pluto, where you going? Pluto, he going down the steps, y'all. I don't trust Pluto. Pluto, if I'm not paying him attention, he'll do something he ain't supposed to do. What you doing? I'm gonna show y'all Pluto again soon. Pluto's getting older, so now right here is falling. His chin is falling, and I noticed it the other day. My baby's getting older. Pluto's like, oh, so he's an older dog. And I have to watch him. He's got arthritis and everything. Y'all to see him with his pawing at me because he want my attention. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. Thank you for joining. Please share my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe because you never know what we're coming out with. We are going to talk about Umar Johnson soon. We're going to do some relationship coaching. And I'm probably going to do some celebrity updates for you guys. But like I said, I always add in something that I think will help the masses. Thank you for joining me on Facebook. You guys on Facebook, please join my YouTube channel. The link is on my Facebook page under my post for today. So please join my YouTube channel because I can do more on YouTube than I can on the Facebook. And I'm probably gonna come with you guys on Facebook soon with some more jewelry sales. I do still have a lot of jewelry that I need to sell. Hey, brother, how are you? Thank you for joining. Thank you. I'm gonna close out my Facebook, but guys on Facebook, please join the YouTube channel because that's where I'm putting a lot of my content. But I will do just a couple of things on Facebook just for you guys. I love you guys on Facebook. Much love. Until the next time. But remember, join the YouTube channel. Hey, brother, we just got finished talking about evictions. Go back. Please look at what I've said about evictions, just talking about people's rights with evictions. Oh, okay, cool. So, yeah, we're gonna be talking I was talking about people's rights just to tell them more about evictions because I know that oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. I know that a lot of people within the next few months may be facing evictions because of all these tariffs and things that people are going to be losing jobs. Come here. Come here. Y'all, he wants attention so bad. I'm going to show y'all my love man right here. This is my love man. Say hi, Pluto. Say hi. This Pluto, everybody who don't know Pluto. Got some Pluto right there. Pluto chin starting to drop. He getting older. This is my baby. This is my rescue dog. Everybody said this is my spirit dog because he actually came up to my car and jumped in my car out of nowhere. And I've had him ever since. So he's going on 8 years old now. You gotta go pee-pee? Gotta go pee-pee? Raquel. Pluto gotta go pee-pee. That's my daughter I'm calling, y'all. I don't know what I did with my phone that quick. But yeah, I know a lot of people within the next few months is going to be facing the evictions. And I want them to know their rights. When it comes to the eviction process, because a lot of people don't. And people get put out every day because they don't know their rights. Hey, come get Pluto and put him out. So that's one reason I want to do the show on evictions, and just kind of giving people some little tidbits about what they need to know about evictions before it happens to them. Another thing I should have added, but I'll just throw this out there right quick before I get off. Right now in Georgia, Georgia is facing a lot of fraud when it comes to. I'm on live, Rocky. When it comes to deeds, they're doing a lot of deed frauds. You need to have some fraud security, and it needs to have some what is it called? I can't think right now. It's not oh shoot. It's not. Oh, I can't think of it now right now, guys. I'm sorry, I can't think of what it's called. But anyway, it is a way to monitor your deed. Hey Kim, thank you. Nice to see you, sister. Nice to see you. I can't wait to get my stuff from you. Everybody, Kim is she's great. She, from what I gather, she's a doctor. I have purchased a few things from her that have been beautiful. I go on her channel and purchase a lot of things. Great sister to know. But like I was saying, when it comes to deeds, for most of you in Georgia now, check your state to see what the law is when it comes to a deed. But here in Georgia, a person can go down to the deed office with a quick claim deed, take over your deed, put your deed in their name. All they need is a paper with a notary on it. Okay, that's all they need, and they can go file it. Now, once they file it and that deed is put in their name, they now can come back to you and say, you owe me rent because you're in my home, but you are still obligated for the loan. Now, understand that. I'll try to get that. They can take over your deed by putting it in your name. And it's so easy in Georgia because when you go file a quick claim deed, you do not need ID. Anybody can just go file and say, okay, I'm this person and I'm putting this deed in so-and-so name. Here's the paperwork. And they're going to file it. So we've got a lot of people in Georgia who have paid for their homes, retired, have lost their homes. I'm talking about big homes. I'm not talking about just small homes. I'm talking about big homes, who have lost their homes from people taking over their deeds. So be mindful of that. Find out in your state what is the laws when it comes to deeds. Find out, yes. Find out in your state what is the law when it comes to deeds, quick claim deeds, because someone could be taking over the deed, your deed, and you would not even know that that person has taken over your deed. So you're literally paying for a house that is not yours anymore. But you're still responsible for the loan. Okay, the loan and the deed, two different things. So find out in your state. And if you are in Georgia, you need to find, I can't think of what it's called, something security. It's not deed security. Maybe it's deed security. I can't think right now what it's called. But you need to have some fraud security that watches your deed. Yeah, that is real crazy, Kim, how that works. But it's a fact. And you can even look it up online on how many people have lost. Just type in people who have lost their homes to deed fraud and see how many come up. It's crazy how it works. But make sure that when you, like I said, you check But you need to find a way to monitor your deed. If you're in one of those states that they don't have to have an ID to go file for your deed to do a quick claim deed, they can just go down and file the paperwork. You need to make sure you have some form of fraud security that alerts you when someone is trying to change your deed. Because now these people are in court and they have to pay for this. Now they have to pay to fight for their house. And at the same time, like this one guy I know, his house was paid for. He was retired. He's on disability. He thought he was good. Come to find out, he gets a letter in the mail. You either pay X amount of dollars or you're going to get evicted. He like, what are you talking about? And that's when he found out someone they took over his deed. Well, he's in court fighting it, but while he's in court fighting it, in order not to be put out of his house, he is now paying rent to the people who stole his deed because they have a right to put him out. That's how crazy it is, guys. But when laws have them little loopholes in it that you don't know nothing about, you can get messed up. So for all of your people who have deeds, they better look. They better find out in their state. You better find out in your state about deed laws. Another thing I want to give y'all before I leave here today, a little nugget. For all of you who have homes and you have not filed homestead exemption, please file a homestead, especially if not in the city. Sometimes it can be, if you're located in the city limits, it's a little different, but still ask, okay? But go down there to your tax place because everything is going up. So I'm trying to help you guys. Yeah, I'm glad. But make sure in Louisiana, because they're so close to us, that make sure that a person, if they go down to file a quick claim deed, they have to have ID. If they don't have to have ID, it's very easy. All they have to do is have it notarized, and they could get their mom or their sister to get a notary. Becoming a notary is very easy, and notarize it. Or they can just get a notary, pay them a few $100 to notarize something, and then take it down there. Okay, good, because here they don't. And that's why it's so dangerous. And that's why so much is happening. Even in Georgia, the squatter laws are so crazy. Okay. Yeah. Brother is in Louisiana too. My nephew is there. He's an attorney in Louisiana. But yeah, like I was saying, even here in Georgia, squatters had a lot of rights, and they're starting to change that. Yeah, you need to do homestead exemption because it's going to help you so much on taxes. And not only that, if you're a veteran, they have tax exemptions if you have any kind of disability, but you have to ask. If you don't ask, they're not going to say a word. But you go down there and you file, say, I need homestead exemption. I need to see what else I qualify for. Okay. See, y'all right there. So, yeah, you need to see what you qualify for when it comes to those taxes. So I'm telling y'all, guys, stuff is finna go up again. It's finna go up high if the market continues the way it is. My sister called me yesterday. I told my sister and I told my husband. I said, y'all need to pull some money out your 401k before you're not able to, because y'all finna lose money. This was weeks ago. Oh, I want to see what's going to happen. I want to see what's going to happen. I said, I told y'all. Okay, great. I told him, I said, Kim, I told him, I said, I'm telling y'all, you've been taking money out of 401k. My sister checked. She's lost $20,000 in her 401k. I'm not even going to tell you what my husband has lost, not listening. So she went ahead and tried to pull some of her money out. Or you can switch it over to a Rothschild account. Okay, you can do that too. But talk to your financial person. I'm not a financial guru, But I'm just telling y'all a little bit of what I know, giving y'all some tidbits. You got money in your 401k, you might want to take it and move it. You lost. Yep. I know, girl. I know. It's going to continue to go down. That's what I'm telling people. And for me, what I did with some of mine, I took my money and I brought gold and I brought silver. See, I knew that was. I told my husband and I said they're gonna freeze the account soon, guys. And y'all not gonna be able to get your money out. I told them, but sometimes people listen to you and sometimes people don't. But what I did with my money, I took a chunk of my money out and I invested in gold and silver. And the reason I invest in gold and silver is because you can always trade gold and silver on any market, anywhere you go. And it doesn't really lose its value. Okay. It'll drop a little bit here and there, but on the world scene, it doesn't lose its value. And I can trade that gold and silver on any market. So that's what I did with mine. It's a little hint for you guys. Right. Yeah, we should have done it when we knew he was coming in office. We should have changed. We should have took all our money out, But who knew it was going to be this drastic this soon? It's been very drastic. I mean, the changes. And I don't think that a lot of our people are really aware of the danger that we are in at this moment, financially, as well as on the world stage. I really think we're so spoiled. American people are spoiled. And if you've ever traveled around the world, you understand what I say when I say Americans are spoiled. Even the poor of us live better than a lot of people around the world. We have churches that give out food. We have churches that give out clothes. We have organizations that give out food and clothes and help. We can get food stamps, we can get welfare, we can get Section 8. There are countries that can't get all these things that we have, even though we think they're not much. When you can't get anything, it's a total different picture. Okay. When you are living in a mud house, or when you are living in what my mother used to call a shack, with no running water, no electricity, no bathroom, no kitchen, and you just can't go down to the local church and get a box of food or clothes. And it's a difference when you can't go to the clinic for health care. We complain, I ain't going to that free clinic. I can't stand going to the clinic. But at least you have a clinic to go to. So we are spoiled in America. And so I don't think that we're really ready for what's coming. I pray that it doesn't hit us as hard as it can. And I'm hoping that they stop this man before it gets way out of control. It's almost out of control to the point of no return. But if it keeps rolling downhill, it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we'll have a bigger problem. And that problem is going to be dangerous. I don't know if some of you have heard about, not only is he trying to send the immigrants back, but he is trying to legalize having to send prisoners overseas. This means that he could take any prisoner that has the 3-strike law, is what he's trying to get, and send them somewhere like El Salvador or somewhere to house them. Okay. So he can cut down on the cost of what is costing America to house prisoners. You have to really think about that. For those of us, which I don't have anyone personally per se in prison or jail, but for those that do, can you imagine your loved one being sent to El Salvador? Now, if you don't know anything about El Salvador prisons, look it up. If you don't know anything about Mexican or Germany, I remember one thing we were taught going to Germany. They said you do not want the police to arrest you in Germany. That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to go to a German jail. Okay. Their jails and prisons overseas is not like ours, guys. So you can imagine how our people will be treated, first of all, sent over there. And secondly, if your loved one get over there, you'll probably never, ever see them again. And we wouldn't know if they're going to jail or they're going to a slave camp. Oh, okay. Well, let's see how long that lasts. Let's see how long that lasts. Because, he stopped them before. He stopped the tariffs before. So let's see how long that lasts with this man. Because he's a dictator. He's not a president. He's really a dictator. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they line their pockets. The rich are becoming richer. And they taking the poll straight down. And he wants to run for another term. And he wants to run for another term, guys. This thing is crazy. It's crazy. But that's what we're facing and that's what we're dealing with. So anyway, guys, I'm not going to hold y'all any longer. Thank you for joining. Thanks, Kim, for joining. Y'all, please share my channel. I'm trying to build it. Last time I looked, I had 234 subscribers. I was really happy about that because what I try to do is I try to give important information to our people. We have enough foolishness going on. I try to give them something that they can bite on and use. Every now and then I'll give you something entertaining. But even in that entertaining, I usually put a nugget in there of information for you guys to kind of nibble on. If you guys still are interested in me doing my show on Thursdays of the housing, buying homes and giving y'all some information on buying homes, let me know. Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you, girl. And I love looking at your show. And even sometimes if I'm not commenting, I'm watching your show at night. I tell people that don't know me, I have fibromyalgia and I have chronic pain. So at night, like right now, my pain is growing. So if I'm on, I'm usually on at night watching, but I don't say anything because I'm kind of going through. But I'm normally watching at night because it just, kicks my mind off what I'm dealing with in my body. I don't know. During the day, I can kind of handle it, but when nighttime come, girl, I crash and this thing takes over. So a lot of times at night, I'm watching you guys on. I may not be saying nothing, but I'm in the cloud watching. But thank you so much. I'm looking forward to getting my next shipment in from you. And when I get it, I'm going to show it online, especially on my Facebook, because my Facebook, thank you, girl, for prayers. I love prayers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When I get your package, I'm going to actually show it on my Facebook page. I have more people on my Facebook page that follow me in view. And I'm trying to get all my Facebook to come over to YouTube, but it's two different. I'm seeing it's two different classes of people. They like being on Facebook. So, but I want to show that on Facebook and then lead them to your page because I have two different Facebook pages, but both of them, I have a lot of active viewers. So I'm going to show it on Facebook when I get the package in. But and I need to get some more keychains from you. I need to get on my nieces. So I'll go on your website and get some more if you have any. Right, they ain't coming over on YouTube. Yeah, I can't get them over here. So I'm building YouTube literally from scratch. But yeah, I'm going to show the package when it comes in. I can't wait. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Anything I can do, just let me know. But I am in the clouds watching when you're talking and giving advice. I even watched your credit repair. And I streamed to my Facebook too. And I try to put it on my Instagram. I'm trying to build my Instagram and stuff. I'm kind of old school, so I'm kind of getting new to all of this stuff. My daughter's the one that got thousands of followers, and she's trying to teach me how to do all this stuff. So, and I'm gonna come to y'all soon. My daughter actually she's wrote a couple of books, and she's finished one a really nice fantasy novel that she's getting a lot of headway on. That I want to interview her and show y'all her book soon. So that's coming up as soon as um, I can get her to split some time for her mother to do that. We're gonna come live and show y'all her book and all the reviews and stuff that she's gotten on it. But again, guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, yeah, I'm gonna show y'all again. Okay, I will. Thank you, Kim. I will send you that information. And I also my I want to tell you guys, I guess it's been a year ago, my grandson and I wrote a book for autism. And the book for autism, it helps young kids to communicate. Some that are nonverbal and some that are verbal but just don't talk. My grandson was verbal, but he just didn't talk. So we learned hand signals and things for him to communicate, which made it a lot easier for him, I found out. But anyway, he and I did a book, and we did it. I did it for him to help him to communicate, to help um, he and I to bond and that kind of thing. So I got a call. I sent the book to someone, and young lady, actually gave it to her for her daughter, and she wanted the book to be sent to the school. So I sent some books free to the school, and if they need more, I'll send some more to the school. But after doing that, I've had some more orders for the book. The book is on Amazon, and I'll post that up as well. And we'll do a review. And when I do my daughter's book, we'll do a review on my grandson's book too. But anybody who has any child that was autism, the book is like, I want to say $4.95 or something. It's real cheap. It's not expensive, but the book helps children. Is coloring and writing and cutting to help them, with their skills and stuff. But it's a really great book for young children who have autism. So I'll put the link up in the description below if anybody that is interested. But thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Please share. Please hit the like button. This was an important topic that a lot of people need to know, because people are getting put out every day without knowing their rights, and they're surprised. And if they know their rights, they can they'll be able to stop, not necessarily stop the eviction, but prolong what may happen. Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you, Kim. You're a blessing to me. Um, but I will give y'all more information. If you have any questions for me about evictions, if I can help you, I will. Like I said, I'm not an attorney. I just had 20 years in apartment management field, and I have went through a lot of evictions. So I'm just kind of telling y'all from experience. But always checking your state, your rights, and check with an attorney about your rights. Also, if a lot of you may not know, I am a licensed realtor in the Atlanta, Georgia area. I'm licensed throughout Georgia. So if you have questions about home ownership, even though I'm not in your state, I may be able to answer some questions for you or guide you to where you need to go. All right, guys. As I always say, I love you, but God loves you best. Let your haters be your motivators. And remember, this YouTube stuff is just on the internet. Live your life to the fullest. Till the next time. Bye, guys.